Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk about what I think is one of the most anticipated PC game releases of the year. Yes, it may be a port of a 4-year-old game, but the clamoring, the anticipation, the hype that I have noticed from my audience and the PC gaming audience in totality for one Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch and PlayStation to come to PC has been outstanding. Whenever I talk about PlayStation games coming to PC, there are two games that people constantly bring up. One of them is the fabled Bloodborne remaster and Bloodborne PC port. I do think one day that will happen. I ultimately think Sony knows what's gonna print money, and Bloodborne getting ported to PC will print money. But the other game that I constantly see mentioned is Ghost of Tsushima. Honestly, a little bit surprising to me how much people want this game on PC, but yo, I'm down for it because I played Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 4. I played it on PlayStation 5. It is one of the best PlayStation exclusives of all time. I honestly think it's a little bit underrated when you look at the critical reception. It's like at an 83 or an 84 on Metacritic. I think it should be at the high 80s, low 90s, around that range. That's how highly I thought of the game. And if you are excited about the game, why spend $59.99 on it? I got you guys covered. Over at instantgaming.com, link in the description box below, you can get the game under $50. Yes, $49.52 for the director's cut. Go check it out there. We will leave a link in the description box below. You're getting one of the best game releases of the year, even cheaper. Link down below. You'll get a Steam key, redeem it on Steam. Boom, you're good to go come May 16th when the game does officially release. With this video, I want to break down the entirety of the system requirements because what I've liked that PlayStation has done and what I think that every major game publisher and developer should be doing is not 2 tiers of system requirements. That has been the standard for so long. Ghost of Tsushima, on the other hand, has 4 tiers of system requirements, so we can really sink our teeth into all of the various requirements that are gonna be available for the game. Whether you're looking to play this game on a lower-end PC, whether you're looking to play this game on the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally, because it does look like it'll run on those platforms as well. Let's break it all down, and let's start off with the minimum requirements. That is for 720p at 30 frames per second. You are looking at an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960 or an RX 5500 XT for the GPU. CPU is an Intel Core i3 7100 or an AMD Ryzen 3 1200. Minimum RAM requirement is 8 gigs of RAM, and then for storage, it does note SSD is recommended. At this point in time, guys, it is the year of 2024. I would not be playing games off a mechanical drive, but that is your prerogative. Recommended 1080p at 60 frames per second. This is about the range I would say the majority of people are looking at. If you look at the Steam stats, it seems like most people are still rocking 1080p. So for that, you are looking at NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 or an RX 5600 XT, i5 8600 or a Ryzen 5 3600, and yes, it will be bumped up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, this is 1080p at 60 frames per second. They don't specify exactly what settings. I would imagine this is a mix of medium and high. That's generally what it is. I do not believe it's maxed out because I think you're going to need a little bit better than a 2060 for 1080p maxed out at 60 FPS, but we'll see on that. Now, when you're looking at the higher end specs, that's when things get spicy, and I know for the audience of people that are watching system requirement videos and my content, you might be rocking a higher resolution monitor, or you might be aiming for the highest settings and still get 60 frames per second. First of all, we have the high 1440p at 60 FPS. This would be at the high preset, generally speaking. PlayStation games have the high preset, then you go very high, and sometimes it might even go above that. But usually it's high, very high, and you get the idea. High 1440p at 60 FPS, you're looking at an RTX 3070 or an AMD Radeon RX 6800. CPU, i5 11400, AMD Ryzen 5 5600, and then 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, 1440p at 60 FPS at high settings. Remember that while this game is a PlayStation 4 title, it is going to look better on PC. 1440p is a relatively high resolution, but 3070 is fairly beefy, all things considered, for a PS4 game. But, you know, this did get an upgraded release on PS5. We're getting the director's cut ported, so on and so forth. I know for, you know, a significant portion of my audience, this is around the range that you aim for. 1440p at high settings and getting a good frame rate, I think, is the sweet spot. The issue that we're gonna get to with Ultra and 4K. 4K, pushing games at 4K and getting 60 frames per second is brutally difficult, and when you're talking about buying high-end hardware, the longevity that you're gonna have as games continue to evolve at 4K, if you're trying to get the highest settings as well, it's got a very, very short shelf life. 4K is still incredibly difficult to push. I don't care what they're talking about with the PlayStation 5. They talked about PS5 pushing 4K 60 FPS. How's that turned out for you? How's the PS5 Pro's 8K gonna turn out for you? It ain't gonna be a fun time. Guys, there are literal cross-gen games, PS4, PS5 games like Ghost of Tsushima, like God of War Ragnarok, like Horizon Forbidden West. Those games can't run at 4K 60 FPS because it is so demanding. They go 4K 30 FPS, and obviously there are exceptions to the rule, but most games cannot run at 4K and 60 FPS on current-gen consoles. It's just very difficult to do, and 1440p creates a little bit of a sweet spot. Nevertheless, for those of you with FU money and you're looking to play the game at Ultra and 4K 60 FPS, you're looking at an RTX 4080 or a Radeon RX 7900 XT, Intel Core i5 11400, Ryzen 5 5600, and then 16 gigabytes of RAM. When you're going higher resolution, higher settings, it is contingent on the GPU, as you guys see. And an RTX 4080 is quite the behemoth to have. I mean, it's not like the craziest GPU. Like, obviously, some of there are people out there with absolute baller PCs where they're gonna scoff at a 4080. But for my audience, I think, you know, 4080 to me is pretty top of the line stuff. If you got a 4080 in your PC, you're probably doing fairly well in life, and you got things figured out. And most people, I don't think, are rocking a 4080 at this point. Most people I talk to seem to be still rocking their 3000 series GPU, which the 3000 series was awesome, so if you have a 3070 or a 3080, obviously, you're still going to do very well when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima. And guys, as far as the game goes, I get it that when you talk about PlayStation games, it's God of War. It's Horizon even gets more buzz than Ghost of Tsushima on a console side of things. It's Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon, that's like the trinity of a PlayStation exclusive. But let me tell you, Ghost of Tsushima, I would put it right in the mix. Hell, I might even rank Ghost of Tsushima above Spider-Man, maybe even above Horizon. Ghost of Tsushima is just absolutely tremendous. One of the most compelling main characters in any PlayStation game, and dare I say any. And that's funny to me because one of the big criticisms of this game was Jin, the main character of Ghost of Tsushima, which I just think is a crazy criticism. I think Jin's one of the most compelling main characters a PlayStation game has ever had, especially how the narrative with him unfolds throughout the entirety of the game, and really, that's one of the core elements of the game, Jin's evolution throughout. But nonetheless, the game's gonna be great. We just need a good port, and guess what? Nixxes has been knocking it out of the park, and I imagine they're gonna do it once again. And the latest PlayStation on PC title, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, does drop on May 16th. Again, if you do want the game cheaper, instantgaming.com, $49.52. You'll get a Steam key ahead of release. You'll redeem it right on there, and you'll be good to go. And you'll get the game a little bit cheaper. Remember, this is the Director's Cut with the Iki Island expansion and all those bells and whistles. Ghost of Tsushima Legends is in there as well. It'll be interesting to see if PSN account connection is necessary, like a little Helldivers too. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.